What's up guys? This video is going to be very short, and in this one I'm going to explain to you how to create a new process inside a program. So yeah, let's start, and this is very simple. We just have to use the function fork. So as you see here I have a test, but let's clear everything. And yeah, what do we need if we want to use the fork function? We go to the main of fork and we check that we need these two libraries. So these are the two libraries that are included. And yeah, as I told you in the video of processes, you need to use the wait function. So what do we need in order to execute the wait function? These two libraries. So we already have this one and we just have to add this one. So yeah, what is the program doing? So this is a main function, and in this main function we are just calling fork. And what fork does is that it creates a new process. So it creates a new process. And why do I say that this is the child's execution and this is the father's execution? Because when we call this function, the father receives the process ID of the child. But the child doesn't receive anything, it receives a 0. So we know that if we put here this if, we know that, hey, this is going to be the child because the fork for the child returns 0. But in any other case, in case we receive a PID, a process ID, we know that this is going to be the father's execution. So what we are basically doing is that we create another process and the child prints the child, and here the father prints the father. Then the father has to wait until the child process finish, because otherwise the child process is going to become a zombie. You can remove this one, but yeah, I wanted to make clear that the child has to return and finish his execution. So if we now compile and we execute, we have what we expected. We have here that the father prints the father and the child prints the child. If we execute this a lot of times, well, maybe it is, look, for example here, you see that here the child was the one that printed his value first, like that executed this function first. So you see that the one who decides who prints and who does the things is the computer, not the programmer. So yeah, that's basically it. You have to know that whenever you call the fork function, you create a new process. The new process receives from this function 0 because it doesn't receive anything, like it receives 0. But the father, the one who created the process, receives the process ID of the new process. So that's why we put here else. Like we could, for example, put here an int or whatever. Well, there's a structure to save bits. We could put this, and here we could save the value of the bit in case we want to send it a signal or whatever. So yeah, that was everything for today. I hope you enjoyed, you understood how to use fork, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to go and check my website, in which I talk about trading and cryptocurrencies and all that stuff for a very cheap price.
Damn, Sosa. You going crazy.
Rest in peace, Big Pop, Cat, Kilo 666. Estoy bajando todo, lo siento. Te quedas en nada. Rest in peace, Big Pop.